Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another game in the AAOL. Please bear with us tonight because our usual casters are away, so we've got streamers actually bringing up the casting duties with myself, Rufio, and Riot.
Hello.
So yeah, this should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Vision Esports versus Tracer. Nope, that's the other one. We got Soundscape Pulse versus Nerve Zero here.
So Soundscape Pulse vs. Zero. This should be an interesting matchup. Hopefully, now that the divisions have been sorted off and everybody is sorted out into roughly similar skill levels, the games have been pretty close.
Yeah, definitely. The first match that we had just a few moments ago, that ended in a draw, and that definitely was even.
Nice, and you see how we just played as well. We had and we got a pause already. So yeah, same thing happened with us too. We had we almost went a draw on one map and a close first round, and managed to cinch it in the second round. So we got
it's amazing how after the first stage, everyone is slowly becoming equal, and it's becoming so fair now.
Round one, capture the objective.
Okay, here we're starting. We got Erla from the blue team as Orisa, and both teams are running an Orisa strat.
Looks like they're probably both going to go try and get the groups here. This is a great map to try and knock people off the side. I'd actually like to know which team is which because unfortunately I didn't pick it up in the start as well. The blue team definitely managed to get control of the point first, with the red team taking the back route to try and come in, but they've been held off.
Blue team has left the red team inside the lower area.
There's an offense trying to get a bit of a flank with the Widow, but wasn't able to quite finish up those picks.
No one can hide from my
And again, you have to bear with us because we really don't know what we're doing.
Like they were just playing it.
Inexperienced.
Inexperienced indeed, and we don't actually have any team sheets in front of us either, so we're not 100% sure who's who. Unless there's somebody in Twitch chat wants to enlighten us.
Colt from the blue team fell off the edge trying to use a mine to get people off, but he failed. The red team got the point, pushing the blue team out.
It's the same thing again with the Orisa is really strong on this map too.
Yeah.
She's able to. She creates a lot of space just around that well area there because people know if they get a little bit close to it, they can fall susceptible to her. And same with the Hulk as well.
As you see, both teams are running both Orisa and Junkrat, so obviously they're both trying to deal the damage in the group.
Not sure about that second ult there by the red team Orisa after they'd already got the fight, decided to check it out anyway. Could have been a bit of a waste there. And blue team just piles away into the point and smash it out.
Contact emergency services.
We got both Junkrats having their ults. See, that's probably going to end in a nightmare.
Speaking of the ult, first one comes out.
Colt is trying to go through the middle, maybe get a few picks.
No, I think he managed to get a nice pick on that one there and shut that car down nicely.
Blue team is definitely trying to hold them at the front of the entrance. If the red team doesn't go through, they're not going to get a point.
I'm trying to rotate around to the right here, but I don't have to make a move very quickly because of only 7% lower. Oh, that's a huge shot coming off the way.
Yep. Here's the other tire.
Oh, the sound barrier must have got most of that.
Yep.
No one can hide from my sight.
Here's another Valkyrie coming in from the red team.
Bacon almost gets booped off there, but manages to stay on. But the advantage is definitely there with the blue team, and there's basically just trying to clean up now.
Sweaty Bacon trying to hook the Valkyrie Mercy. And does end up getting her out.
Whole Hog does manage to come out there, and this could delay it a little bit, but no, he falls off the side.
The blue team gets the round.
Score 1-0.
I'd say that was pretty even. Like, both teams did get the point at least once.
Yeah, now it's the asking chat issue which team is blue because this is kind of bad.
Definitely confused, and I personally don't know any of the players' strats and all of their skills, so I am just as clueless as anyone else.
I have a fair idea here. Looks like blue team's going to go with the straight to point strategy using the Mei.
1.
Yeah.
Whereas looks like red's going to go with dive here, so this will be interesting. So of course red's going to go main while blue team's going to run straight to point. And
It's
they're going to try and use that Mei wall to, cut off them off.
Pretty surprising how the blue team is not running with the Pharah, especially since this map has really good vertical height.
Yeah, they're sacrificing the vertical height here just to be able to put bodies on the point.
Yeah.
And using that Mei just to shut out or
Which
isolate
seems to be
any of the red
helpful.
players. Basically, this is the same strategy we ran on this point today as well.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like
I
our
will
team
not
is
waste this opportunity.
looking at this as well.
Damage increase.
We got Elfins trying to get to the point with the Genji, but they are slowly making progress, but they are not budging.
Yeah, so red team's tried to switch up here, and they've got the Ryan, and they managed to try and get some work there with the Pharah, picking up the Lucio, but with all these bodies on point, it makes it really difficult for them to push in without relying a heavier comp of their own.
Wow, amazing. Crystal Willow. Whoa, the Mei got the Pharah from midair, which is hard to get. I personally have the worst aim, so I could never got that.
And with the new changes to Mei as well, now she has no drop off.
Yeah.
And also the same goes on with the soldier and the McCree. Their drop off's been, I believe it's reduced or increased to 50%.
Yeah. Really
So now they're opting to go with the Doomfist to try and get in there and break it up. Although he's diving in there a bit on his own there, got picked up pretty easily.
Genji's using his ult, but luckily Mei has used her ult as well to try to pause their progress.
Yeah, unfortunately, red team here is just sort of acting a little bit too independently of each other, and they're not going to be able to break this hold.
It seems they're not trying to coordinate with their ults. And there is another round for the blue team.
Wait a minute,
Hello
they're
there.
telling us in chat, which is a minute and a half behind, unfortunately. Soundscape?
Whoa. It seems they got sent back to the lobby.
Without doing the play of the game, I guess they might have been a bit. Oh, that was my screen preset. Okay, fail. Alright, let's try to find out. Okay.
Definitely was a quick map. They did, blue team did push in most of the time. And now
Okay, so
we're
blue
on
team
to
is
the next
Soundscape.
map.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so blue is Soundscape. Awesome.
Next map, Nubani.
Bear with us while we try and wait for the next map to come up. But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting sort of. The first point was very tight, going between the two, almost running mirror compositions there.
It's
And
really curious because both teams seem like they're actually coordinating with each other, but the red team, Nerve, is actually not pulling off their ults together, and that is what you need to do if you want to win against a team fight.
And especially when you're running a lot of, like on the second point too, if you're running a lot of bodies on the point, then you really need to be able to go, yes, we are. You really need to be able to coordinate those ults to push them into a point. Otherwise, you're just going to get picked apart one at a time.
Yeah, as the casters from from the first game at 7 p.m. they did mention that if you get picked off, you'll slowly decline in players because you need that team coordination. If you don't have that, your team will slowly lose the numbers and you'll slowly lose your strength.
And a lot of teams, they know this too. They know if they get into a fight, if they can get a pick on the other team, the team that loses the character has to realize whether it's going to be time for them to either carry on the fight or if they want to withdraw.
Yeah.
And I believe this is one of the lower divisions. Wow, I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me double check.
I believe that both teams are running Winstons on their teams. We got Nerve starting off at attack, and defense is Soundscape.
Okay, so these guys are based in Division 6. And yeah, dive tends to be a pretty good option on this map just because you got the multiple high grounds on either side surrounding the point. And it allows them to go from one high ground to the other one very easily.
Attackers incoming.
It's interesting that Party 14 decided to go as Ana because in this type of scenario, you may want to choose to have a Mercy, especially for a higher healing rate. Well, technically, it was reduced.
It was reduced, but I think with the Ana as well, like a lot of teams like to run the Ana on the top, except where they can just keep her pocketed to the side
4, 3,
and try and keep her out of range of the dive.
attackers incoming. Defend.
Definitely seems like a dive coming from the attacking team. Nerve.
So yeah, we'll be dive this dive as they come in. Oh, that's a huge pick right off the bat there. Flamefly gets to pick on Colts, and that'll initiate the dive coming through to try and clean up.
A lot of damage being headed towards the Soundscape team. They're getting pushed off that edge.
So I managed to get a couple of free trades up here too, but Nerve has definitely got the advantage here, just pushing straight through with that after those initial couple of picks. Colt's trying to delay as best as he can, but he's not going to survive long.
Olo seems like he's trying to get through, but yep, he got through in the point and is now contesting. Maybe he's trying to hold it for a few seconds for the rest of the team. But no, he did not succeed.
Might not have been the best of idea jumping in there
Yeah.
if that's correct. And this is going to allow Nerve to push up and try and create some space between the cart and the defenders.
I'm taking care.
So at the moment, Soundscape's giving them a bit of room to move here. They probably just want to let them come around to the corner where they'll start to engage, where they've got a bit more cover.
Yeah, we got RKM trying to push up at the top, trying to find a few picks. There is a Valkyrie coming from the Nerve team.
And just the zoning Pulse Diva Bomb there has managed to keep everybody at bay. And seems Soundscape's managed to pick out the advantage again now, getting a couple of picks. And they're managing to push Nerve off the pillar.
Keeping them near the spawn. You got Colts trying to use his ult to keep them at bay at their spawn.
That was a very ballsy ult there by Colts. They just wanted to put the
They
escalation
wanted
up
to
on that
use it
ring.
for to keep them at bay until the next push. with Colts also trying to bait them up at the top.
He might have been trying to bait out some ults from them as well here.
Yeah, that
They've
makes sense. Sound barrier is popped, and
we've got a lot of ults coming out here.
all nerve ultimates are being popped.
Say hi to Facebook chat. What's up, Facebook chat? Yes, they do need a Mei on their older map. So even after all those ults are managed to be thrown out, there hasn't been a lot of picks going on either side. And it seems Soundscape has managed to stabilize the point. And this payload hasn't moved much at all. They've only just managed to get around to this first corner, second corner. Starting to get a bit more distance on it now, but they probably want to get a little bit further than that for how much time and resources they've wasted into it. Whereas Soundscapes again managed to push them back.
See, as you see, as the team regroups, there's definitely a bigger chance of them taking the point and making sure that the other team does not get the payload. And that is crucial for this type of area, because if they get the payload, they're basically going through to the next point.
I mean, here comes another ult out that's just sort of almost haphazardly just thrown it out there. He does manage to get the pick onto combat Wombat.
I think that ult was trying to make sure that everyone got off the point so they could take the point for themselves.
So yeah, here comes the answer by Soundscape here. Dragon Blade doesn't get much though.
Sweaty Bacon used his ult to get all of the Nerve team out there, but it did not succeed as they are pushing the payload.
So they finally managed to get a free push here. Like they've got it. They're going to reach the second point quite comfortably now. But that's still a lot of time that's been wasted just on that one deal. Soundscape's got to be relatively happy that they delayed them as long as they could. And Soundscape's decided to change up again, so they're going to the Rhine Zarya, which is pretty strong for this point here. I almost expect Nerve to maybe drop some ults and do the same.
We got both of the healers on Nerve team with their ult. They may be saving it up for the next push because obviously they are getting pushed back. There goes the Valkyrie on the Nerve team. Halak is making sure everyone stays healthy, obviously, but Zerg Hammer is on the point.
So trans come out from Sound Pulse as well as looking at DPS on it, but I mentioned was farm them back out again. And keep an eye out for, of course, Colts and Sweaty Bacon will be looking at trying to trap Nerve with the ever so infamously famous grab.
Hi there.
Dragon
We
Combat,
have to get this thing moving again.
which has become quite a staple of the league these days. Alright, so here comes his Dragon Strike, he's trying to get over there.
Reaper, Elfins uses his ult inside the building where both the Mercy and the Reaper were at the same time.
We managed to get the pick onto Eula there, so taking out one of the tanks. And without a Mercy, there's no chance of a reses, so Nerves managed to push Soundscape all the way back here.
There goes their camera. Push it back.
And that's a huge hammer, and of course he tries to grab it. The grab as well.
Have 50 seconds left to get on the point and push it 10 meters.
I think there was a bit of a panic ult going both on Soundscape. They're dropping both the grab and the hammer down at the same time. But they have managed to stave off that push, very luckily.
The McCree and Combat Wombat both have their ult, so this could be very bad for Nerve.
Yeah, Nerf's got nothing really coming out. The McCree ult should be enough to zone them off the point, while the extra heal shield output from Combat Wombat there will make it very difficult to take them off the point in 30 seconds remaining.
There's the oh nope.
Oh, that's huge.
Next
for
fight
Falcon.
definitely got it through.
My servants never die.
X-Cow camera goes down, and there goes the sound barrier.
That ult did not get through.
The Reaper ult needed to be
Milan
huge, but
is
it got
the only one on
shut
point,
down.
and Flamefly is just barely getting on. And it seems like no one else is there to get on. And that is the round for Numbani.
That is what you're right. I mean, they managed to get a pretty good push on there, but Soundscape really did delay them quite a lot at very crucial points. And Nerve just wasn't able to sort of come together enough to push the way through.
I think Nerve, if they saved a few of their ults for the last push, they may have gotten that because Soundscape had a few of their ults to keep and use at that last few moments.
And that Reaper ult really needed to be big too, but they got shut
Yeah.
down quite nicely by, I think it was Combat Wombat and Party 14, I believe, was in the Ana.
We got both teams running a diva, which means either, yeah, it seems like Nerve is actually running another dive type strat.
I believe both of them will probably run dive again on this.
Yeah. Definitely
Dive
seems like
because-
Soundscape is going to do a dive, half dive at least.
I mean, Soundscape. Dive works really well on this first point, as we said before, and also you can just see with that first push from Soundscape as well, getting that first point really easily as well.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So we can see if Nerve's dive, counter dive, will be up to pace. So instead of running the Ana, they got the Mercy, and as a second support, they are going to run with Brigitte. So I believe Brigitte will be staying mostly on point, although she's going to come up top.
Obviously, Brigitte is obviously going to be used to stop them from diving in from all of the other directions. So they're probably trying to get them through the middle or through the underground area.
It looks like they got running the Trace as well, so Trace is going to try and sneak underneath and possibly try and turn them around. And maybe do a bit of scouting as well, just to try and figure out where the healers are.
We got Colts going in. Zero Cameron is definitely going to push him now.
So here comes the dive, and the dive's going to come up on the left side. And the dive picks up the healer, Halak and Alpha Z.
Unlike the previous match that had an up on that edge up there, they did not lose that area and they're actually holding the point very well. Although that didn't succeed after the few seconds that they got to regain the point.
So that dive came through really effectively there, especially picking up the Mercy almost straight away. Almost sealed that team fight right from the start. Here comes the Genji Blade, the Colts. They're trying to take care of a few of those staggers, and they pick up 3.
We've got the infamous Zenyatta on the payload as always. And it does seem like they're trying to create space so that they can keep the payload moving. Which
Yeah,
is
so
very...
Yeah, this is pretty the common thing. Like a lot of people at times will look at this and think, why is everyone pushed up? But it's much better to have your team pushed up far forward to create that space so you get the free payload push.
Yeah, you can definitely see this because last round they did not push up and that hurt them dearly because now they have the point going all the way to the next section.
So we're gonna get Nerve should get a contest here. They'll probably come through just at the last minute there. They're going to hurry up. So here they come in the contest, and team fight starts off, it'll be Diva Bomb going out first. Gets a huge pick on off, and Helic goes down. Both healers down. Soundscape
RKM
is
definitely could not hold that.
I'm on
Soundscape's
fire!
just rolling through here.
Combat Wombat staying on the point as always is awesome.
Well, the rest of the team's pushed up right into spawn as well, so they're not giving Nerf anyone to breathe at all.
No.
My ultimate is
And
charging.
now they decide to fall back just a little bit, because they realise that it's not always the best idea to spawn camp. But they're still going to push forward again and try and take
Diving
the fight.
onto the team, dived onto the Reinhardt, and that worked. Combat Wombat staying at the back, keeping the cart moving, and did not get affected by that Diva Bomb.
Unfortunately, the Diva Bomb did get the Mercy, so this will probably end up in a hard reset here. Soundscape. Nerve did drop a lot of ultimates into that though.
And it seems like Soundscape has a few ults they can use for the next push, which is going to be very brutal for the next push.
I mean, they decided to switch on to the Zarya and the Rhine as well, so it'll take them a little while to build their ults up. But they've got Colts, who's got the Blade, Combat's got the Trans. So they'll probably want to try and push in a little bit with this. And there goes the
There goes.
Blade. Picks the Mercy off right away. Managed to get the Moira, so it's both supports out.
Dolphins get Colt, but Colts get res, and that is their res for the next 30 seconds. Can't use that for quite a while. But this may be
This
the
is
end.
it.
Yes, this is it. That is the game for Soundscape for this one. Oh, sorry, this is the map.
So that is the map, and that is what's the round two. They will play the last one, of course, but for bragging rights and also for map score. But showing just a little bit more sort of team cohesion there.
Soundscape definitely seems like they're also being more aggressive when they're attacking, but they're also keep making sure that they stay on the point. But also when they're defending, they're also keeping the point from moving, which was a really good time waster for the Team Nerve. We got the next map for Sky Industries.
So this will be interesting from Sky. Hopefully we see some goats comp. I'd like to see a bit of goats. But yeah, this one will mostly be just for map score. Hopefully Nerve can sort of, I guess, settle down their team a bit and try and hopefully work a little bit more fluidly with each other.
I could see both teams using a dive comp for getting the points, but I do believe that Soundscape will most likely use a somewhat edited version of the dive comp because they'll probably have more healers or either more DPS because when they're going to attack, Nerve is probably not going to withstand that amount of damage.
Casters already, so it looks like we're ready to go into game.
And again, just a reminder, both Rufio and I have not casted a lot, and I have not casted at all, so we are extremely inexperienced.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
Yes, no, we're both of us are not shoutcasters at all.
Yeah. Streaming is probably the thing that I would stay with.
I mean, I can talk about stuff. I can talk about strats and things like that, but when I'm trying to think off the fly off the top of my head, yeah. That's why I usually stick to things at a slower pace.
Overwatch Battle Royale.
Oh god, I hope that I don't Overwatch Battle Royale. I know they did a Paladins Battle Royale. had a quick look at that. It's a little bit. I mean, you don't. It's not really a battle royale. Like with Paladin's players, it's just like battle royale plus Paladin skins in a way. It's not like you actually have like a shield tank running around in the middle of nowhere trying to bash people with his big hammer.
It's
Although
pretty
that could be-
interesting.
It is interesting. It's interesting thought. I am, as an avid Halo fan, I am glad that the only BR that will be ever in Halo will be a battle rifle.
Group up at my position.
30 seconds.
I do believe that there was a leak, or on the actual Battle.net webpage, there was a reference to a battle royale style gameplay.
And it looks like we are going to get goats out of Nerve. So they're going to go with the 3-3. So be interesting to see how Soundscape manages, or at least attempts to counter this, because with their current lineup, this could be brutal.
They're coming through the building, which is a good idea because they're going straight to the point. But
Yep, so the Lucio, oh no, someone went. Looks like the
Yeah, they
Brigade
definitely
forgot to get the memo. And the Brigade's gone to the other side. And that's just going to allow Soundscape just to pick them off one by one.
yeah, they are resetting.
So it seems RKM didn't get the memo there.
Boy,
The rest of the team pushed right. So that's a bit of a mistake there. So it's not going to reset and try and push through again.
It does seem they are holding this point, this section of the map, because this is where everyone gets held up. But it does
Okay,
seem
so
they're slowly moving up.
Oh, a huge post bomb by Crystal there again is just going to stop this push and just run in its tracks.
Party 14 did get a sleep on the Zarya, and they are resetting back, it seems. They still have enough players to try to push, but I guess they decide to go back.
nanoboot
Yeah,
ready
that's
to
the
deploy.
problem with this goats when you want to run goats here. You really need to make sure you stay together as a group. But unfortunately, nerds, they are really splitting up. And with the, when you're trying to run goats, if you split apart, it will be
There's-
your own doing.
All of the ults are being pushed in here. It does seem that Moira on Nerve did use her ult, but I don't think that it would have been useful there because there is a Reinhardt smash, but it was locked out by Sir Cameron's shield.
Oh, that's double grabs coming in here.
Unlucky for both teams, those were not useful.
So Soundscape really managed to shut this down, and they haven't actually had to do much work with it. Nerves basically just undone themselves by not staying together as tight as they need to when running this composition.
As I said before, Soundscape is definitely being more aggressive than they would probably need to be. The Diva Bomb was put in through so they could push in. There goes another Reinhardt. Ult.
So it looks like Nerve might be able to capture this up there, but it was very lucky.
They are picking one by one, and it does seem the furthest person is Colt, and he is not getting onto the point.
Yeah, no, they're going to give this up and reset in time to defend B. But it looks like Nerves, they are... Oh no, they're going to switch off here. So this is probably a good switch by them. Because even though they managed to get it there, the Goats complement was just not working out very well for them at all. They just did not have that coordination to stay together and make it onto the point. Especially for Moira healing as well. You know, her healing, you need to have the team very close together.
Yeah. Does seem she is using her ult usefully, but it is not getting through.
So
There
this is
is
probably
another
just...
ult.
Yeah, this will just be an ult for her just to switch out. Yep. Nerve somehow still managed to be on the point here, and Soundscape lets them almost pick up a tick.
Oh.
That was a little bit lucky there.
Colt's got 3 picks out of that little scrim. What, scrim? Sure. I'm gonna call it a scrim.
That was skirmish. Skirmish. Yeah, Soundscape, they did invest both the dragon and the grav on that push as well, which might have been slightly overkill here because Nerve's now going to come in with their ult advantage.
Animals is charging.
It does seem Alpha and Zed is swapped to Widow, which may be a good idea as the other team also has a Widow, which could be interesting, especially since they also have an Ana.
Okay, so Nerve's going to try and push in here. Looks like they're going to go flank try and get that left flank as well. That's a huge Annonade there. Oh, anti, but no follow-up. Alf's, this is interesting. Oh, that's a big shadow. That's an even bigger reverse shadow. Comes up with a nice charge though there. But it seems like Soundscape should be able to close this one out quite comfortably. Oh, Nerve though, he's managed to flank. Alf's managed to flank very nice on the left hand, get a couple of picks, but unfortunately those just came at the end of the fight.
Elf did get her ult charged up definitely for that. It does seem that is going to be used for the next push because I believe that the next Genji Blade is going to be used.
No one can hide from my sight.
We do have Combat Wombat with his ult, which may be really bad for the next push for them, but hopefully Nerve can pull this off.
Yeah, if Nerve wants to make a good run of this, they're going to try and debate that ult out of Combat Wombat, just so he can't shut down the Dragon Blade. It seems Alpha's popped his sight, so he knows where they are now. And he's trying to keep them busy while the rest of the team flanks to the left. Here comes the blade.
All the ults.
Yeah, there goes the blade, and there goes the trance to answer it. But that Annonade that came in there as well was huge, almost shutting down the entire push single-handedly.
Soundscape has defended the objective once again.
I know he defended it, they've got defended it with 3 ults coming up as well.
This may be really hard for Nerve to get through because, yeah, all of their ults are charging up and they've only used 1 or 2 on that last push.
That's the second or third time that Alpha's managed to take out Crystal though, so he's definitely winning the Widow battle there. But just the rest of the team's not quite able to capitalize on it.
That was not a good choice for Sir Cameron because he did get baited into that grab. The Mercy did get picked off. I'm trying to res Sir Cameron, which did get an ult out of it. But it is not going to work.
Nope, just too many ults there from Soundscape, just trying to hold out Nerve.
Seems they only have one more push if
My position.
they can. But it does not seem that the whole team will be coordinated enough to get there. We got RKM going in by himself.
And that was a huge staker as well, and that's even another huge hit as well, taking out the Mercy at this stage.
There we go, you got Sir Cameron trying to get onto the point and he got stopped by Zarya. It seems that is that round. Nerve trying to be aggressive, but it seems that obviously Soundscape is being way more aggressive than they have to be to defend that objective.
And Soundscape as well, they're really controlling this space as well. Some huge Annonades coming out there from Party 14, just denying all that healing and really shutting down a lot of Nerve's ults. And Nerve again, they're really struggling when it comes to team coordination here. They're not quite staying together as a unit. They're not moving as one as they should be, especially with the composition they're trying to run too, and just making life very easy for Soundscape just to take them out one by one.
Definitely. it does seem like Nerve is having some trouble coordinating their ults. And you got Soundscape that's definitely using their ults to their best advantages, especially with Hanzo and Zarya, which I've seen happen many times during this map.
And not only that, it's also just their positioning as well is not being as best as it should be. And looks like we have a player accidentally leaving. Whoops, coming through. Hopefully they're coming back.
It does seem both teams are running a sniper, both widows, and we got Party 14 and Elf, and I believe it was Party 14 that got killed the first time, and Elf getting those picks at the last point.
So yeah, Party 14 was on that timer and Crystal was on the Widow, so
That's
it's Elf was Crystal managed to do a few nice shots in there, but Elf was really at times finding a bit of Widow, but he just wasn't able to clear enough space for his team to go and contest the corner. The rest of his team just wasn't quite with him enough at those those crucial points.
Seems like we're gonna have to. Oh wait, nope, he is back.
He's back.
Wait.
Maybe not. We're waiting and see.
Oh, there he is. Hopefully,
Looks like we'll almost be back straight away.
it does seem like both of the games that I've been in tonight have had a pause and a disconnection on Blue Sky images, which is coincidence? I don't think so.
Maybe somber in the background there. Okay, so Soundscape. It'll be interesting to see if they do actually decide to run this as well. So a modified goats comp here using the Orisa instead of the Rhine, whereas Nerve's going to be running a Rhine Hog.
It seems like Erla has changed to Reinhardt instead of Arisa
So
this time.
they are going to run the standard goats here. And let's see if they can do it better than Nerve did. So yeah, so far they're staying together well. And they're all going to push.
Ooh, that road code got pushed up so high. Definitely not natural.
It did, so the difference here is already clear just watching the way Soundscape has run through goats. Staying together.
Yep,
Making the most of
Soundscape
that.
has definitely pushed in onto the point, and they haven't. They've pushed them back.
They
It does
basically
seem.
barraged their way straight onto the point there, making the most of that warrior healing.
It does seem Elf is trying to get a few picks, but Erla is getting rid of her chance.
Yeah, Earl's pushed up far already, like, wanting to make his presence noticed. And here comes the wrestler as well, pushing him very quickly. But Party 14 has been taken out, and
Here comes
Yes.
the old Riptire.
and
Ooh,
it's going to be the hard reset here.
Flamefly got both Sweaty Bacon and Combat Wombat in that Riptire.
Oh no, Soundscape has still got enough players here on the point. Somehow they managed to cap that out.
And they capped it. Yeah.
I'm not quite
that-
sure how they managed to pull that one off.
Soundscape is definitely being more aggressive. I guess that is it. They've got all three maps. That was definitely spectacular.
And Soundscape managed to make that work as well, even with losing off their Moira before that push to the second point. But they still just barreling onto the point. Just great target selection, taking out the enemy team, and of course managing to pick up that, definitely not want to say easy, but it ended up being a pretty easy win for them.
Yeah, Soundscape definitely utilized all of the space that they had, and that definitely blocked almost all of the pushes, or at least took it down quickly from Nerve.
I mean, I'm watching. Yeah, luckily, because we've got the delay on here, I managed to watch the replay as it happens here. And yeah, Soundscape on their first push, they just barreled their way straight through
Yeah.
Nerve. Nerve barely even managed to put up a fight there. And that's how that composition should be run. Whereas Nerve on the other side, when they ran through, they got themselves split up too
Yeah,
easily and
they
did not
didn't follow
stay.
through.
Yeah, they did not stay together. And the big linchpin with that Ghost composition as well is that Moira. So if you get away from the Moira, or if the team gets split up, she can only heal so in a certain area. And if she gets taken out, or if she gets split up from the rest of the team, then the team suddenly has no healing that's coming in. And it makes it easier to pick them across one by one. And that's when Nerve really struggled there. But Soundscape, as they came through with their goats as well, they just stayed together tight, very close to each other, and managed to make the most of that healing and could just put out a tremendous amount of damage that Nerve was just not able to counter.
Yeah, definitely. I guess that's it. We got Soundscape winning against Nerve 3-0.
And that'll be it from us for tonight. There should be, I'm not sure if the other game's still going on at the moment on the other channel.
It seems
Might
like the other